Dorian's coming. Dorian's coming. Look out, everybody. Dorian's coming. Honestly and truly, Dorian is coming. You need to be prepared. So today I thought I'd just talk a little bit about hurricanes, some of my experiences with hurricanes, and caution everybody to be prepared for Dorian. Dorian's coming. Good day, Pwalpar here. Thanks for tuning in. I'm finishing my grass cutting today, and yesterday I got most of my weed eating and trimming done in the front. I picked a few tomatoes here today, and I got the grass cut so when Dorian comes, or the rain or effects from it, I won't have to worry about grass growing 2 feet deep out here. Today maybe we'll talk about hurricanes. I've been in hurricanes and I've been in tornadoes. Both are frightening. But when a tornado comes on you, it's real sudden. You don't have time to prepare for it. And I guess I would say it's the most scary. But riding out a hurricane is not no party either. Yeah, there's a hurricane coming towards the United States called Dorian. I'm sure most of you have seen that on the news. And it brings to mind a few of the times that I was in hurricanes. Some people have never experienced it. It's not an exciting event. Well, it'll get your blood pressure up. We used to have what you call hurricane parties. It's not quite what it sounds like. It is a party. You had to get ready for the hurricane. Well, we didn't have bottled water back then. When a hurricane was coming, you had to prepare. If you lived in a mobile home or out on the coast or near the beach, you went to a family member's house. Whoever had the most well-constructed house is kind of where everybody gathered. And a lot of time they would gather at our house. Some of the family members might live in mobile homes or out on the beach or somewhere where it wasn't safe to be when the water gets high. So they'd come to our house for a party and ride out the storm. And when a hurricane comes, you got to get ready. You have to fill up the bathtub with water. Why, you may ask? Well, if the water system goes down, you can't even flush your toilet without a bucket of water. You got to have water to wash with, water to drink, get all the bottled water you can save, because if the water system goes out, you might be out of water for a month. Power goes off, you have some extra food and stuff around. But times have not really changed in that respect. So it wasn't really a party. It was just a gathering to get out of the storm. When a hurricane comes through, you need to open the windows on the off side of your house. If you close all your windows, the high pressure outside will explode your windows. You got to be able to relieve the pressure in the house. It's like too much air in a balloon. When the vacuum, when the pressure outside drops and the pressure inside is more, your windows can blow out. And then when the eye of the storm comes over, you have to close them windows and open the windows on the other side of your house to relieve the pressure. Always after a storm, I would get out and make a few dollars here and there cleaning up all the old people's yard in the neighborhood. After a hurricane comes through, your whole property will be covered with tree limbs, and down in Florida, it would be palm branches and other kind of trees. But it was not uncommon for your yard to be a foot deep in tree limbs all the way across. And where they come from, Lord only knows. But old people couldn't get out and do that, so I took advantage of the opportunity to make a few dollars cleaning up people's yards. I've ridden out hurricanes when I was in the Navy on ship. That was no fun. I'm sure I've shared this story before. I've shared this story of when I was in a tornado back in the 70s. Tore the building down I was in. None of my co-workers were killed, but it happened when I was at work at the railroad. Tore down the whole Atlanta rip track shed, and the offices, stuff like that. Turned over trains. A tornado would just pick up a boxcar and flip it right over. Anyway, I hope my viewers do a little bit of preparing for the hurricane, especially if you live in Florida, anywhere, really anywhere up and down the east coast of the United States. It's been my experience over the years that them weather people don't got a clue where that hurricane's going. Right now, they've got everybody in Florida going into panic, and they might be truly in danger, but there's a good chance that thing will turn right and come right up the east coast of the United States. So everybody kind of needs to be prepared. If you got lawn chairs or patio umbrellas or tables or whatever outside, you better go out and turn them upside down, secure them, put some blocks on them, or put them in the garage or something. Garbage cans, anything outside that might blow away. You might not have it when you get back out there after the storm. Tie things down, get it all secured. Down there in Florida, I'm sure they're boarding up all their windows. They're probably out of milk and water and plywood by now. Lord, I wouldn't be able to get out there and cover my windows. That's one disadvantage to a two-story house. Would be nice to have some plywood to go around and nail on the windows if I knew a hurricane was coming. Now, most likely, as far inland as I am, I'll just get maybe some wind and a lot of rain. We had a tropical storm come through here. I think it was a hurricane when it was out in the ocean, but it came right up the middle of the United States, sort of between Georgia and Alabama, right straight up through where we live here. And it was rain. I mean, just a tropical storm. The wind might not have been 50 miles an hour. It wasn't a hurricane force winds, but it rained for, Lord, I know it must have rained for a week. Seemed like it. Anyway, there was so much rain, all the rivers flooded. There was floods everywhere down in Macon. This was in 94. The flood of 94, I believe it was 94. Train yards were underwater. I had to go to the railroad down there and do a lot of extra work because Macon train yard was underwater. But it was so bad here that coffins were floating up out of the cemeteries. You know, when they bury a coffin down in the cemetery, it's only 3 or 4 feet deep down there to the top of the coffin. Well, when the dirt turned into mud, a lot of them coffins that had air in them just popped right to the surface. They literally was coffins floating down the rivers and creeks. I think they had a big time identifying some of the bodies that floated up or where they come from. You just don't think about how serious a flood can be. And water and floods and stuff is one of the most common causes of death in a hurricane. Or, you know, you can get hit by flying debris, but water is a big problem. Saw a YouTube on video the other day, a video on YouTube. I'm getting dyslexic. Where they put some of these funeral homes put a tag on the coffins now with an ID number, name, and everything in case for some reason it gets lost. So they can know where it belongs. Anyway, enough of that gory subject. At least I'm getting the yard knocked out here. It don't look too bad in my videos, but the grass is 3 or 4 inches deep out here. After the storm comes through and the rains come through, it can jump to a foot high in a day or so out here and make it darn near impossible to cut. Not much of a vlog today, my friends. Y'all, I appreciate you listening to me, and stay safe out there if Dorian comes your way. This is Pwalpar signing off.